NFL season is over, but the offseason is just getting started. The NFL Combine is just getting started next week, or the Tennessee Titans rumored for Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. Find out next on the Titan Report podcast. Before we start the show, I want to give my condolences to Rucker, a longtime Tennessee Volunteers beat writer, and also Wandale Moore, NFL wide receiver. Start with Wes, who's a longtime Tennessee Volunteers beat writer, has done a show for the Knoxville news station, has done Tennessee volunteer work for a very long time now, for especially 2 decades. And everything I saw about him, everything I've heard about him, Wes was just a great, humble guy, and all my condolences to his family, his wife. He has a kid at home right now. His wife is pregnant with their second child. So it is a very tragic situation. And he just finished his show and he was on the way home and on the Interstate 40 when he was just going home right after the show. So I am praying for Wes's family at this time, especially for the Tennessee Vols community. What we've been doing is putting Wes's GoFundMe in the link of the channel. So if you guys want to do that and want to donate in any single way that you guys can for Wes's family, I am going to be donating. It's a good cause. They've raised over $600,000 currently at this moment right now. I'm at the numbers up the time this is going out, but definitely want to put that out there for Wes. Just give my condolences, give my thoughts and prayers for the family. And Wandale Moore, who passed away tragically last night, former Cardinals and Vikings wide receiver who had season-ending injuries. I know he has some tough battles in his life. Tragically passed away at the age of 25 years old. Before I get started, I just want to take a moment and just appreciate life. People struggle with mental health, and that's totally okay. Do not be embarrassed about it. Reach out to somebody, call your family, call your friends, send a text to somebody, and just say, hey, man, I love you. I appreciate you. Be thankful. Life is not granted, and people take it for granted every single day. And it's honestly just tragic to see these people losing their lives every single day. And I just want to say, I know I'll say it all the time, but I love y'all. Every single person, everyone who watches this, I appreciate every single one of y'all. I love y'all. I love this channel. I love the community. I love the Titans community. I love the NFL community. And I'm super thankful to be able to do what I do for a blessing. And we're growing one day at a time together. And that's why I'm doing this channel, is because I love it. This is my passion. And now we get to the show. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jackson Weber. I'm the host of the Titan Report podcast. Today we got a pretty big episode to talk about. Going to kind of dive into the offseason. Got a special announcement. This talk at the beginning of the show. Gus Bradley and Brian Dable spoke to the media. We have one more mock draft for the NFL Combine. If y'all are new, please like, subscribe, and share with a fellow Titans fan. And please hit that like button at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Just takes one moment. It'd be greatly appreciated for the channel. I do want to start the show and kind of give a special announcement. I'm going to the NFL Combine. Man, I'm super excited. Long nights, long days, and I'm super excited to be able to go to the NFL Combine, man. This is a dream for me. And the fact is, we're just getting started. We're just getting started the channel. I'll be out for the whole weekend. I'm going to go out there, get content for y'all. Hopefully get a couple interviews or two. So stay tuned for the channel where we're going to have a live episode next week in Indianapolis. So we will have an episode next week for y'all, breaking down the Combine, giving my thoughts on that. Now we're going to hear a clip from Gus Bradley and Brian Dable in their introductory press conference, and we'll give y'all thoughts at the end. After y'all saw those two clips from Gus Bradley and Brian Dable, we're going to be talking about my 3 thoughts. The biggest thing that took away from me from Gus Bradley speaking at the podium, he was talking a lot about the edge position, which means the biggest need for the Tennessee Titans this offseason, no matter what, wherever you're going to look at it, through the draft and through free agency. Gus Bradley was talking about he wants one edge on first and second down that can be able to go on the outside to rush the passer, and it can slide inside to help stop the run on third down. The Tennessee Titans struggled on third down defense last season. They drastically need to improve on that. And you know, it reminds me a lot of Ruben Bain. Ruben Bain really was a tremendous run stopper last year on that Miami Hurricanes defense. He can go on the outside and rush the passer, come inside, and be a run stopper. And he says he wants one edge to be a rusher. That also, on the other side, reminds me of David Bailey. So it sounds like that Gus Bradley likes both of those prospects, and that's a big hint for the Tennessee Titans going into the draft. He's also very excited about the guys in the room like Jeffrey Simmons, Devondre Sweat, take another big step, another fresh start. And it'd be interesting to see about Devondre Sweat. I've heard some things about him getting traded. We'll talk about next week on the show about Devondre Sweat. Is he going to be here next year? Is he not going to be here next year? Because that's going to be one of the biggest things on the defense to keep an eye on. Because Robert Saleh and Gus Bradley have never had a nose tackle. And I know everybody's excited about Devondre Sweat, but I don't expect the Titans to keep Devondre Sweat on this roster. I expect them to trade him. When will that happen? Is that actually going to happen? We'll find out. Gus Bradley talked highly about Robert Saleh in the presser. These two really enjoy each other. They like to have each other around, and this connection is very good. They know each other. It's the fourth time they work together. They started out in Seattle. They were in Jacksonville, San Francisco, and now in Tennessee. So Gus Bradley is bringing a good mind to the defense, going to help Robert Saleh a lot. I think Gus Bradley is going to really help the defense from top to bottom. Next, Brian Daboll. He said, like he said in that clip right there, this is a true fit from Mike Borgonzi to Robert Saleh. He believes this is a great team to build around. And Brian Daboll's relationship with Cam Ward. Brian Daboll's loved Cam Ward since the time he came out of college, and he repeatedly asked the Tennessee Titans and Mike Borgonzi, are you going to trade down? Are you want to do this with me? No. The Titans are set on Cam Ward. The Giants also want him as well. Brian Daboll has a lot of confidence in second-year quarterback Cam Ward, and these two, the relationship's already going strong. Cam Ward also talked a lot about good things about Brian Daboll, as we'll get into later on. He's very excited to help this offense to be better, change this offense around. The Tennessee Titans offense has been struggling for the past couple of years with inconsistent quarterback play, inconsistent weapons all around. The offense needs to be better as a whole, and Brian Daboll wants to bring that. So he did a re-sign, let walk edition for the Tennessee Titans pending free agents. Who I think is going to stay, who I think is going to leave. Let's talk about it. So start with the re-signs. First player I want to talk about is Jihad Ward. Last year, 31 total tackles, 5 sacks, 4 passes deflected. Especially Jihad Ward came in the Titans camp late after the shocking retire of Lorenzo Carter, and Jihad Ward filled that need. He's 6'5", 285 pounds, but man, is this guy a stud. The Titans desperately need edge depth. I think a 1 to 2 year deal is perfect for Jihad Ward to keep him around for next season. Joey Slye, we need a kicker. We desperately need a kicker. I think this is a good fit. I wouldn't mind keeping Joey Slye around next year. Probably like a 1 year deal. We'd probably be max for him at like $5.5, $6.5 million. That'd be fine with Joey Slye keep him around in Nashville. Darrell Baker Jr., we need cornerback help bad, and we don't have very many of those on the roster. We need to keep as much depth as we can. Darrell Baker Jr. is a solid depth piece. I don't mind to keep him around for a 1 to 2 year deal, especially his depth. Corey Levin, man, I don't mind starting this guy next year. I don't mind starting Corey Levin at guard next year at all. Great backup depth piece. Has been really reliable for the Tennessee Titans for years. I think Titans should give him a 1 year deal. Morgan Cox, don't have to explain. We need a long slapper. Sebastian Joseph Day, we need defensive line help badly, especially in the interior. And Sebastian Joseph Day is a solid defensive lineman. Like a 1 year deal or up to like $5.5 million, $6.5 million. Mike Brown's another player. We need safety help. I don't think the Titans can keep Xavier Woods, but the Titans do need safety help. I don't mind keeping Mike Brown next year. James Lynch is the last guy to keep as defensive line depth. We're going to go to the let walk. The first impact player I want to talk about is Arden Key. Arden Key is a tremendous player. Don't get me wrong. He has not been healthy this past season. Arden Key is expected to get like 9, 10 million AAV. I want to spend my money elsewhere. I think I want to upgrade elsewhere. I think Arden Key has done his job here in Tennessee. He's a great locker room guy, great personality. Met Arden Key, tremendous guy, I love him. But I don't think he'll be here next year for Tennessee. Kevin Zeitler, serviceable guard last year, when he did his job. He did what he needed to do. I think Titans will move on and find a serviceable young guy at the right guard position. Jackson Slayer's a good option. Maybe bring in another veteran. Wyatt Teller's a good option to bring in to compete for Jackson for that spot. Chigakonko is just a young guy at 26 years old. Led the Titans in yards last year, receiving yards. I believe he led them in receptions as well. Don't have the stat in front of me. Although Chigakonko had good stats, he wasn't good at the blocking. And we already have a young guy behind him in Gunnar Helm. I would love a guy like Jadeveon Njoku who can actually do blocking and catching as well, be a veteran presence for Gunnar Helm. I think Titans got to go with Gunnar Helm as their tight end number 1 and move on from Chig next year and save up that $11.5 million. I think the Titans got to save that money and spend it elsewhere. All right, we got a couple of polls we got to talk about. We also got a couple of Titans news and updates before we get to Tua in the NFL mock draft. First thing we're going to talk about is Tyreek Hill. He got cut this week from the Miami Dolphins, saves him $30 million. First thing I asked, would Titans fans be interested in Tyreek Hill? Yes or no? 59% of y'all said no. 41% of y'all said yes. I want to hear from the ones who said yes. Is it just because y'all want to get number one wide receiver? Because to me, it just doesn't make any sense. First of all, his injury and his fibula. We don't know if he's going to be healthy to go next year. He's taking time to rehab, and his speed's going to go down. He's going to go down as a player, and that's something I'm not willing to take on. Number two is age. Tyreek Hill is just going to go down in just years to come. He's going to go down. He's going to decrease. His speed's going to go down. His route running's not the greatest as he used to be. His speed was the biggest weapon. That's something to keep in mind of. I think Tyreek Hill is just going to go down from years to come. And the third thing is the culture. Tyreek Hill is not a good locker room guy. Let me just first start out and say that. His locker room presence, and he complains a lot. He's not a good locker room fit for the Titans. He's not going to be a fit here in Nashville. I know a lot of y'all want him as number one wide receiver. It's not going to happen. The Titans are not signing Tyreek Hill. I'm pretty confident in saying that. The second poll that I asked you guys is this. Who would you rather have at number 4 between Mekhi Lemon, those are his stats, and then Carnell Tate? So between those two receivers, who would you rather have? To me, I'd rather have Mekhi Lemon on my team. 65% of y'all agreed. 35% said Carnell Tate. I can argue Mekhi Lemon's the best receiver in this draft class. His elite route running, elite separation, elite ball hands. He can play in and out, the slot. Wherever you need Mekhi Lemon to go, he can play that position. He's very good with yards after catch, and he acts like a veteran. He'll change your offense, be a big playmaker on your offense. Even though he's undersized at just 5'11", Mekhi Lemon acts like he's 6'2", 6'3". And I know a lot of people are going to be concerned about that. It reminds me just like St. Brown. Mekhi Lemon is me a very good wide receiver on wherever he goes to in this draft. Let's talk about the Tua Tagovailoa situation. Everybody is probably wondering, why should the Titans be in conversation? This is from Matt Harmon from Yahoo Sports. He said the Titans are a team that should call the Dolphins and buy a draft pick. By taking on the Tua contract, stupid amount of cap space to take on the deal, it'll just become a non-threatening backup to Cam Ward. Point is about Tua's cap. $56 million cap in 2026, $53 million in 2027, $65 million in 2028. First of all, money's not the problem. The Titans are not concerned about the money. $100+ million cap. Does Mike Borgonzi want to spend that much on a backup quarterback? It's very uncertain because it's not guaranteed you're going to get a second or third round pick here. It's going to take a second, third, and probably a fifth or sixth. It's probably going to take 3 or 4 draft picks for this thing to get through. If the Dolphins want to get as much cap away, they're going to have to either give them a lot of draft picks or they're going to have to eat a lot of that money. It's either one way. This reminds me a lot of the Brock Osweiler situation when he got traded from the Houston Texans to the Cleveland Browns, and the Texans saved $16 million of cap. I know the Titans need a backup quarterback. I can comfortably say it's not going to be Will Levis. Will Levis is going to get traded. He's going to be good as gone. Will Levis wants out, so you need a new guy. But it's not going to be Tua. The only situations is a couple teams out there that have starting opening positions. Could the Falcons be in play? Because that quarterback situation is a huge mess. Kirk Cousins is probably going to go. Michael Penix is going to be available to start. He might go someone like the Jets, even someone like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Does Tua want to go to a backup role, or does he want to go to a chance that he can start? So that's something to keep in mind of with the Tua talk situation. I don't think the Titans are going to trade for Tua. I don't think they should trade for him. So I'm not comfortable with that report and saying buy draft picks. All right, we're going to do a mock draft similar with y'all. Today, we're going to do one more final mock draft before the NFL Combine. So let's start the draft. So Ruben Bain went number 3. Caleb Downs, Fernando Mendoza are also in the top 3. So you have Arva Reese and David Bailey. Both are really talented. But if I have to pick one, I like David Bailey here at number 4 for the Tennessee Titans. I'm picking David Bailey, most sacks in FBS. All right, but the second round pick is going to be very interesting. Are the Titans going to go defensive back? Are they going to go wide receiver? To me, defensive back seems more realistic. So Keith Abney, if he's there at number 35, makes the most sense to me. He has good coverage skills, but he's also an elite run defender. He tackles very well. He's a very good, solid corner. Does a really good job covering cover 1, cover 3. I like Keith Abney. Would be a good fit for the defense. Keith Abney makes a ton of sense. With the third round pick here, and if this guy, Elijah Surratt, still, for a third round pick, the Titans are going to take receiver. And it's going to be Elijah Surratt, Zachariah Branch, Chris Brazzell. Elijah Surratt, if he's here 66, the Titans should select him. He's a really good route runner. He's really savvy. He's really good ball hands, really good control. 6'2", over 200. Plays through a lot of contact. Give me Elijah Surratt here in the 3rd round. With the 4th round pick, the Titans are going to start targeting a lot of depth. Wherever the Titans are going to go, the Titans do need backup tackle depth. I think the Titans still need some defensive back help. I've studied Xavier Scott. I like him. Give me Xavier Scott in the 4th round. Titans could add a running back. The Titans could add a tight end here. I think the Titans are going to add one more running back. Craytron Allen late in the 5th round. Very interesting to me. Very interesting prospect. I think Titans are going to select him late in the 5th round. So I traded back with the Lions. I traded my 142 pick for 155, an extra 5th round pick, and gave him a 5th round pick for next year. So we already got a running back. I think this is where the Titans can go offensive guard, the first offensive lineman in this draft. Take Amarji Reed Adams from Texas A&M. We got one more pick before we start the 6th round. So far, if you want to look at the draft board, this is what the draft board looks like so far. The Titans do need to get probably one more wide receiver. The Titans have the last pick in the 5th round. So this is the pick so far that we have from number 1 all the way to the 5th round pick. So for the 3rd last pick in the draft, I am going to go George Gumps Jr. from Edge from Florida. Second to last pick of the draft, the Titans are going to target tight end Dalian Bentley is what the Titans are going to draft from Utah in the 6th round. All right, 7th round, last pick of the draft. I'm very surprised Eric Gentry's here from USC. I thought he was going to go earlier in the 7th round. I'm going to pick Eric Gentry. He's a really good covering linebacker. He can be better at the run defense. He's pretty good at the pass defense. He can work with Robert Saleh on the defense. Eric Gentry is where we're going to go. So that is a 7th round mock draft, in my opinion, the last one. So this is the grades that we have right here. That's the trade we did with the Lions. So overall, we earned an A. That's a pretty good draft right there. All right, now we got some positive news to talk about, and then 5 players to keep an eye on in this combine. Cam Ward is recovering well from his AC sprain. Ward has not thrown the ball yet. Plan is in 2 to 3 weeks, early to mid-March. Ward has been working a lot on his lower body work, especially some mistakes he made last year, some mechanics that Ward needs to work on. It's his footwork. Cam Ward, like I said earlier, is very excited to work with offensive coordinator Brian Dable. He believes he'll be able to allow him to be a good playmaker. So now let's go to this. This is what caught my eye earlier today. Tenzel Smart is the new Titans assistant defensive line coach. Do you see who that second comment right there is? John Franklin Myers. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Keep in mind about that, because that could be a Tennessee Titans potential free agency target. I talked about that a week ago on the previous episode. That's a guy to keep in mind of. That's a very big hint. First guy we're talking about, he could be a Micah Parsons style type of player. And 6'4", 243 pounds. It's hard to find players like Marvin Reese. He has 6.5 tackles and 10 tackles for loss as a junior last season. But 1 year of starting experience under his belt, I think is going to be one of the most interesting players in this combine to watch. Next guy is Ty Simpson, quarterback from Alabama. We know that Ole Miss quarterback Trindad Trimless is going back to Ole Miss. We already know Dante Moore is going back to Oregon. Ty Simpson is the 2nd best quarterback in this draft. He's a little bit more smaller, though. He's a little more average for size of quarterback, 6'2", 208. Raises concern about a mobile playmaker. Is he going to be a quarterback that sneaks into the 1st round? Is he going to be a guy who goes to the 2nd round? Do the Steelers make a jump, make a pull? We'll find out, but does Ty Simpson have the talent to make himself a 1st round pick? Next guy is Ruben Bain Jr. Edge from Miami. Tremendous player all year long last year. The biggest question is his arm size. Is his arm size going to be an impact, especially in this combine, going to the pros? That's going to be the biggest question to look at. He's a little more heavier than the average edge position, but Ruben Bain can make an impact on the field. He can also rush the passer. He can go inside to stop the run, which is what the Tennessee Titans are looking for, and Ruben Bain can do it all. If he can show to do both of those things at a high level, he's going to stay as a top draft pick. We'll see what his numbers look like at the combine. Mekhi Lemon, wide receiver from USC. And Mekhi Lemon's going to be one of the best prospects in this draft for wide receivers. I talked about him early on. Good playmaker. He can go in, out. He can really run routes really well. Good contested ball catcher. Even for his size at 5'11", 195 pounds, Mekhi Lemon's going to be a big impact for somebody's offense. I'm excited to see him at the combine doing what he can do best. Back, Jamad McCoy. Now, he's been one of the most interesting players in this NFL draft to keep an eye on. Missed last season with an ACL injury. I'm excited to see what he can do, especially with no tape in 2025 for his ACL. 6 foot, 193 pounds. He can run with any receiver, and he's going to go to a team that can use a good defensive back in the first round. The biggest question is, can he respond well from the ACL injury? That's it for me this week. Appreciate y'all checking out the show. If y'all can like, subscribe, share, it'd be greatly appreciated. Also, turn on the notification bell. It just takes 1 simple second. Y'all will be notified from when the next video comes out next week on Sunday. We'll be live from Indianapolis, Indiana, from good live content from the NFL Combine. So see y'all next week. And as always, tighten up.